everyone, my name's Ryan. I'm from Sublime Digital, and today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to generate more leads at a cheaper cost for your plumbing business. Let's get started. So one of the first things I see when I get into plumbing accounts is that there's no real optimizations for specific Google business profiles. So today I just Googled plumber near me. I live in Lakewood, California, and I'm going to just pop up a random business that is not ranking in the #1 position. And then I'm going to show you some content that we should be producing on Google Business to ensure that you do appear on these search engines. So again, I'm in Lakewood. I'm just going to go to good old number, what is this, 7 here, Fitzgerald Plumbing. And what I'm going to do is pull this business up. Again, you could see in their profile, areas served, some things with the Q&As. Looks like last post was June 11th of 2025. A couple posts here and there. So what we're going to go through is, again, just really looking at this and really knowing how we can optimize this to generate leads. So the first things first, is your business verified? Do you have a Google business profile? If you don't, I can drop a link on how to claim your listing, but ideally you should have a Google business profile because it is a significant lead engine for plumbing businesses to really generate more jobs. And typically they're closer within your specific business address. So if you are a plumber serving from your home, you'll have much more business in your given radius as you start ranking. So again, first things first, what we're going to do is just pop open this Google business profile, take a look at the photo count, take a look at the description here, and then we're going to dive into some pages. So a lot of reviews in plumbing. Reviews are king, right? Reviews is really what generates a bulk of business, and we need to make sure that you're optimizing on those because those reviews power your SEO rankings. So first things first, this is what an optimized Google business profile looks like. We have the name of the business, what specific keywords we want to go after, and then kind of what those geographical locations are. You can see how the business is optimized, right? We hit the area that we're currently in and then the county. People typically don't search in counties, but it's still helpful to rank in case there's not a lot of competition in that area. So what we need to make sure when we're optimizing is we really look at what the site's ranking for and what the opportunities it currently has. If you're a plumber in, the city of LA, obviously it's going to be significantly more difficult to rank for city-based keywords. So we have to find little pockets and little neighborhoods around that specific geographical location to add into the Google business description. So as you can see here, what we did is we went after the Brea listing, talked about 15 years of service, talk about how there's flexible financing options, really giving that ability to provide a easy, flexible payment option so people are inclined to click. You can see essentially the terms plumbing, residential and commercial, Brea, and neighborhoods of Orange County. So now also talks about we speak Spanish, flexible financing options again, and really providing that value proposition. So in this optimized description, you want to tell a story as quickly as possible so people can really resonate and feel how they're going to be able to interact with your business. So again, when we really look at this Google business, right, we're missing some of the key factors. Right? This specific individual is located in Cerritos. As we scroll through, there's no Cerritos mentioned at all in the Google business description. It looks like we mentioned plumbing, commercial and residential, good. A couple keywords with plumbing installations, leaky faucet, clogged drain, and burst pipe. As we go to the website now, let's see if we mention, love the logo, good, Lakewood, about 5 different times. Now let's see Cerritos, where the Google business is located. So this is kind of where the problem is, right? We have a Google business profile where the address is currently in Cerritos, right? And they're pushing Lakewood extremely hard and not really ranking anywhere that's good enough. So one quick strategy that we may want to look at doing here is building out a Cerritos page. That way you're not really having to compete for that Cerritos traffic. Allow your Google business profile to do that. You can see with Rooter Company, or you can see with this specific client, again, as we go to their Google business profile, you can't really search Rooter Company. You need to search the Rooter Company. we could see the term Brea, and as we click through, we have service areas, right? So what you want to be able to do in the plumbing business is create these service areas on your Google business profile so you can really expand that geogrid and allow yourself to get ranked. What we decided to do is go after specific emergency terms because we noticed with those emergency terms, you get the late night calls for bigger jobs, right? For example, if there's a clogged drain at 10 o'clock at night and you have to shower because there's a super important meeting, you're sending someone out. You want to get your drains looked at. So it's super important for people to really have that ability, but really have those flexible options so that people can call. So again, really hitting those emergency terms, being a 24/7 service. Not all providers and plumbers are 24 hours. So again, we have to kind of branch and look at those areas, and it depends on what your business is and what your specific niche is. Maybe you don't want to focus on emergency plumbing. Maybe you want to focus on hydro jets, right? Because obviously those can lead to bigger jobs and whatnot, or higher margins if you own a specific pressure washer that can do the job. Same thing with drains, right? Going down and really hitting every single aspect of drains and every single specific service line of plumbing service. So again, on this actual website, we're hitting pretty much every type of service as well as service areas, so we know where we're going. Mind you, there's a lot of service areas coming out. These aren't the only ones that we're doing, but you can see as we type in, if I can spell right, Rooter Company, #1, Google Business. Hard to beat Yelp sometimes, but there is some vitality with Yelp currently, but we are kind of passing 1 and 2 for this. So you can see that obviously strategies like this tend to work. Furthermore, we can take a look at this location page strategy and directly incorporate it with our Google Business Profile strategy, right? As we kind of look at some of these service areas, not going to show us all of them, but obviously Anaheim is a subsidy of Orange County. Let's take a look at Plumber in Anaheim. Really hard to get the Google Business Profile ranked. Obviously, you're not going to do that when you have an actual listing, unless you have an actual listing in the area. But you can see first result, right? Plumber in Anaheim. That's an incorporation of having a location page strategy that really plays into the overall website, right? Including these keywords, having products that correspond with the types of services that you offer on the Google Business Profile itself. So again, what that's going to mean is as we go into this area where it says products, right? We could see every single product with images, right? And keywords inserted inside of the Google Business Profile that allows Rooter to rank for these specific keywords that gives them more qualified leads and more to rank. So as you can see from an on-page content strategy, this is really the best way to really obtain those rankings at a quick rate, but most importantly, an effective rate. The next thing I want to show you is Google Map Packs. For Google Map Packs, what we want to do here is make sure, I'll just quickly show you because this is already a longer form video, but what we can quickly look at here is when you have these images on the website, right? All 34 of these images, not a ton of images, but every single image that's taken on here has location data inserted in it. So longitude and latitude of where these areas that we served are. Not only that, when we go to the actual website itself, and we click in to these service areas, right here and here, we actually have location data that shows areas in Anaheim where we're signaling to Google where the image was taken. It's called EXIF data. If you have a camera on your phone and you upload the image and you're actually at that location and you take the picture from that location, that EXIF data from your iPhone, hopefully you don't have a Droid, will automatically capture that longitude and latitude inside of it. So it's super important to upload those images to these location pages as well to really have this overarching encompassing strategy. Next thing I really want to go over as it relates to Google Business Profiles is going to be how we respond to reviews. So as we go back and take a look at some of these reviews here, oops, sorry, as it loads. We could see the router company, right? Kind of hitting that router keyword, hitting plumbing solutions. When we're responding to reviews, we're actually ingesting keywords inside of those reviews so that we can have this overall encompassing strategy that allows us to rank again quicker on those search engines. So it's really looking at everything as a whole and ensuring every single keyword strategy on that web page is in sync together. And most importantly, that you're doing the right thing from a technical perspective on the websites. Having technical SEO to ensuring that your H1 tags and meta descriptions all have those keywords as well. Happy to go over that in another video if that's something that you're looking for, but also being able to track that performance. How does these specific clicks to the website generate to phone calls? If you can't track that, there's no reason to be investing in that specific type of channel and funnel. So just to quickly recap, make sure your video is claimed, complete every single little detail of the Google business profile, and make sure that you're hitting very close to the recommended amounts. Do this and, I guarantee you, your leads and jobs will be increased. And if you'd like help optimizing your Google business profile and you'd like us to help build you a complete search engine optimization as well as Google Ads and Meta strategy for your plumbing business, we'd be glad to help. There's a link below that you can click and book some time with me. Time is limited, so make sure you book as soon as possible and click the link and get your strategy ready to rock and roll by tomorrow. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Have a great day.